Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Cam, aka Topical Juice, aka TJ. What's poppin'?
Hey, listen, I ain't even got to do the introduction from now. I'm happy with that one. So listen, hey.
That was on point.
That bangs
That was
still.
fire.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. You do know who it is. You do. It's Cam, Topical Juice, and I am with my friend Carolyn AKA aka ItsCarolyn. It's your YouTube channel, am I right?
It is.
It's Carolyn. So I'm so glad that I've got a fellow YouTuber on my channel with me. So before I get into what the actual series is gonna be, please introduce yourself for the people then.
Hi guys, it's your girl Caroline. I have got a YouTube channel called It's Caroline. I would say it's very similar to yours.
Yes, I was describing.
Maybe a bit more PG.
Yeah.
But very similar, so we speak about very similar topics. So yeah, I'm super excited. This is technically my second collaboration now. Technically. Girl, YouTuber.
Come on. So no, she's right. Literally, Caroline does exactly the same stuff as I do, but maybe just to a better standard. So make sure you double check that out right now. But without further ado, we are here to introduce something that I've been thinking about doing for about, how long have I been thinking about doing this for? Like a few weeks now. I've been coming up with this idea. So I really want to start a series called My Black Experience, and the inspiration for doing a video like that is just to give people a platform, black people a platform, naturally specifically black people a platform to talk about their experience. You know, a lot of people since George Floyd died have been realizing that a lot of what black people go through is very similar, and I really wanted to give people a platform to speak about their experience with being black, basically, and about what being black means to them, their experience with racism, everything like that, really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why I repeated that word there, you know what I'm saying? So either way, without further ado, now the intro's done and I can relax into the you see,
yes,
relax into the sofa now. So first things first, listen, this is, we ain't planned this. This is literally a conversation. This is not planned, prepared. This is very organic. So tell me then, your first experience. Tell me all about your first experience realizing your blackness. Realizing that you were different from the rest of the world, shall we say. Actually, you're not different actually, but you've been perceived to be different. So tell me about that stuff.
First of all, I just want to say thanks for making me your first guest on your new series. I'm very guest, thank you.
You're welcome.
So where do I start from? So, a little bit of a backstory.
Yes, please.
I grew up in a really black area, and I went to a black school. It was mixed, but like I never felt out of place.
Okay.
We were probably there was more of us.
Predominantly black.
Exactly. So there was no issues until maybe even college. It was the exact same. My whole upbringing, black people around me. I never felt like, wait, I'm different. Never happened to me. And then I went to uni, and I went to London College of Fashion, and it's a, it's a white uni, and there's other ethnicities there, but not as many black people. So initially, I think there was 2 black girls in my class, and
in the whole class?
In the whole entire class. And when I say, even when I speak about the whole uni, I'd probably seen less than 5. So I was just lucky in mine that I got 2. So
That's way less than I thought.
No, it was
way
bad.
less than I thought.
And it was just like, I don't know if that's to do with the whole, like, them picking people, or I don't know if it's generally because black people aren't interested.
You know what? Yeah, I hate to do this already because I love to. I want to listen, but I'm actually gonna intrude. I love to ask questions here before I move on. You see, when you were living in a predominantly black area, so that your experience was obviously you didn't realize that you were different. Were you ever aware of the fact that you lived in a black area and that the world was broader than the ends, basically? Did that ever cross your mind, just out of interest?
When you put it that way, I don't think I ever did. I ever was, sorry, because that's all I knew. The most that I kind of heard about it was with one of my cousins who's from a white area, and she would speak about it, and I would just be like, how could you live like that? Like, I just didn't get it, because that's all I knew. So I don't think I was aware of it.
Fair enough.
Because that's actually like all...
That's all you knew,
I knew.
saw. That's fair enough. Yeah.
So it was... I'm trying to think, no. I don't think so. And like, I hadn't experienced anything strange. it wasn't like, I didn't know, basically.
That's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. But yeah, go on, where were we?
Where was I? So yeah, I started uni now. I was excited. Obviously, you're excited to go to uni. And then I walked in and I was a bit like, this was the first time that I walked in and I was like, hello? Like, I'm the odd one out. Do you know what I mean? So I walked in and I was just like...
Tell me about how you actually felt when you saw that you were different. Like,
it made me scared. I can't lie, because I was like... I didn't have a lot of white friends. This is going to sound so mad. But because I didn't have a lot of white friends...
Oh, black area, didn't...
Yeah, like, I literally felt like, so what do you guys like? What do you guys... What do I talk about? So that was my first thing. I was like, oh God, this is about to be the worst year of my life. But then I saw 2 black girls and I was like, hey, my sister. My sister. And they said, So that's when I was a bit like...
Okay, so we're going to have to get into that.
Yeah, we're going to have to get into... We're going to have to dig deep.
We're going to get into that one.
Literally, I must have went to sit next to her. And you know, naturally, when you see a black girl, black guy... You're just like, you're gonna be my friend. That's
straight.
It, like, period.
Straight.
And it didn't. She was not having it, and it was actually was intentionally trying to show people that she's not with me. Like, she was trying to be like, I'm sitting here. Okay, let's use you. You're me. She would literally be like, I'll be like, oh, so you know, what school did you go to? She's like, oh, so and so. Anyways, Linda. And I was sitting there like...
Linda?
I was like, okay. It's fine. Like, I just thought, okay, cool. Maybe it's just her. Then there was another black girl. Same thing. So I think that's the first time I was like... That's
a lot of lessons to learn straight away.
Yeah, it was a lot. Honestly, it was a lot.
So you literally discovered the fact that you're different. Not to mention that there's other black people that don't see it the way you do.
There's black people that are different to me as well.
That's nuts.
So I literally, on my first day, I was like, I hate it. Like, I don't know if I can do this.
I'm not surprised.
So I went home, I spoke about it to my friends, to my family, and I was like, guys, like, the black people that are weird, they're not friendly, I don't know what's going on. And the thing is, with those black girls, I ended up finding out that they grew up in a white area.
Okay.
So, you know, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
But basically, and they were just like, no, like, come on, like, don't be like that. You know, you've wanted to go to this uni for so long. Just do it. And you never know, maybe it's just because you're new, they might be shy. And I was like, okay, because I didn't know, gave them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe let me make more effort to speak to them. I'm telling you, I went back the next day and it was exactly the same. And I was a bit like, so this is a thing.
Wagwan.
This is going to be my life for the next 3 years. Can I do this?
Can we do this thing called uni?
I don't know, like, I'm willing to just quit, you know, like, I can quit, I can fully quit, it's not even an issue. But then I was like, no, I'm gonna ride it out. And also, I think I discussed this with you before, is I was counting on the teachers to see, because, oh, sorry, I skipped a whole bit. The white people were the same to me as well, because I think I was the only, this is gonna sound so mad, I was the only black person.
It's your experience.
It's my story, innit? Exactly.
Run that.
I was the only black person that was like, I'm a black person, period. Like,
I
wasn't being ghetto, but I was very like,
this is what it is.
Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas the other ones were like, oh no,
trying to be a bit,
you know, and it was like, you don't know that they're slagging you off behind your back, like. And I'm pretty sure I've heard some of them do that, but that's a story for another day. So. What was I saying? So yeah, I was counting on the teachers to kind of be like, no, not to mix me up with the black people, but to be like, wait, this girl's getting treated differently. Why is this happening? Okay, let's mix up the groups. Let's do something. And it just wouldn't happen.
Tell me about when you say treated differently, what was it in that class that you wanted the teacher or lecturer to kind of be a bit more clocking on to? Like, what was it that made you feel different?
I think I felt different because...
It's the microaggressions a lot of time, isn't it? It's the microaggressions.
Exactly. And it was like uni was supposed to be this happy experience that I could see everyone else experiencing except me. So then I was like, huh?
And you don't know why at the time. You're thinking...
I don't get it because I haven't experienced racism before because it's just never been around me. So this was at this point I still didn't know it was racism. I think I just thought is it me? Like, am I being too loud? Am I being too ghetto? Am I being too... So it made me just like, okay, maybe I need to act more like white, or I need to start
changing your behavior.
Yeah. So it made me just be like, what is going on? So your second question was with the teachers. I think I was expecting them to be like, this girl is kind of... I'm making myself sound like I was like some loner getting bullied. It was never that.
It's not that.
But it was just... It was obvious.
That's what I'm saying.
To anyone. So I expected them to kind of be like, okay, this girl is having this issue. Maybe even speak to me about it. Try to mix up groups, especially because like I would end up with like, it sounds like I'm just gonna say it. I'm a big man eater. I'm just gonna say it. So there was like the
it's real rap.
The international students, let's say, that, you know, were different, didn't really speak English, and I would kind of end up there. But I didn't mind, but it was a thing of, what's the reason you lot, when they say pick groups, you're like, together. Why was I not part of that?
Wait, so were the groups picked for you? So they were the teachers putting you in
they would say, okay guys, we're about to do this activity, can you get into groups of 3? And then that would happen. Everyone's like, me, and then they're gone, and then you're just there like, us again? Who made you our highlight to do this? Like, so that's what ended up happening. I actually ended up being really good friends with one of the girls.
I'm glad.
I can't remember her name, which is awkward. But I was good friends with her in uni, but after uni.
I was gonna say.
I was done with uni, and I was done with everyone from uni too, whether you were nice to me or not, to be honest.
A lot of my favorite anyway.
So they just...
Pussies, man.
literally. So... they didn't ever say, okay, this is like, we're starting to see a pattern. You know, most teachers will be like, I want you to work with different groups. They didn't do that. I don't know if it's because it's uni and they're like, you're an adult, you lot do what you want. But they made no effort to try to make my experience better. Even though sometimes it was very obvious. Like, it was extremely obvious.
Have you got an example of how obvious it was?
It was like, literally the groups one is the main one. She would say get into groups, and everyone would get into their own groups, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's us. You could see us looking around like...
Yeah, so it's always but down to that.
Always.
Yeah.
So, and this was even at lunch, they would see me just sitting there. I'm the type of person that if I'm not I'm not going to be fake to you. Okay. I can see that you don't like me. I'm not about to come and still keep begging friends. So I was like, listen, I'm going to do this alone, no issue. These lot obviously were cool, but like, so I'm trying to be alone, and so I would have my lunch alone. I'd have my lunch alone, and I think it's really sad. I get that it's uni, we're adults. I think it's really sad that nobody said something to me. So
ever. So okay, so I've deeped it. So we're actually, it's what was bad about it was that they weren't picking up at the fact that you were isolated. So you were alone. So they weren't asking. So you were clearly, the pattern was that you were alone or within the same group. And they're not picking up on, are they even asking why? Are they even thinking why? You know, or whatever it is. And you know, that's what a lot of, just to interrupt, you know, what you were saying, that's what a lot of racism ends up being a lot of the time. It's not outward racism getting called the N-word or whatever. It's just it's very passive, it's very hidden, because it could be interpreted as the fact that you haven't just met anyone that you get on with. Or they established a friendship group before. Like, that's how it could be interpreted. But we know what the experience is. You know, like, you know what it was. You know, and I believe. And
the saddest thing is that I started to, before I realized what it was, I started to question myself. That's sad. And because it was quite, I would say, a bougie uni. I would be like, is it me? I started to get new clothes. I started to try to be white, like whatever that
means.
Yeah. I tried to do that, and I think now, obviously, when you think back at it, I'm so angry at myself for ever doing that. But I guess it was part of my journey, my process to where I'm like, how woke I am now, so to say.
It's all part of the process.
So that was very strange that they just didn't see that. I think maybe it could be a thing of they didn't even understand it was like a race thing, because there was other black girls. Exactly. But they didn't realise that those other black girls were completely different to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just feel like there should be more done to...
The problem is like, we can't use that as an excuse for them no more. As in, like, okay, admittedly, I do empathise with the fact that if they don't understand, then how are they going to know what to look for? However, the problem is the fact that they don't understand. They need to understand. Yeah, the race has to be something that people are aware of. But true to say though, like in the lecturer's defence, if you do have people that look like you in there, but they're behaving differently, that's only going to validate their unconscious bias, unconscious racism. So it's going to then go back to thinking, oh, maybe it's not a race issue, maybe it's a you issue, when they're not going to realise that it's the black people were in a white environment, so they kind of knew how to navigate with white people. When really, if you only have been from a black environment beforehand, and you are then encountered with different people, white people for example, or international, whatever, you ain't gonna know how to navigate like that. Like
exactly.
That's difficult, man.
So I can see it from their point of view, but I feel like this was years of this. This wasn't like I was in that class for a couple of months. We were in the same uni class for the entire 3 years. So that was very strange to me. And I think maybe second year, I would say I kind of was like, okay, I don't think it's me, you know? Like this is actually just how these guys are. And then I made it my mission, because we were starting to plan for third year, that I'm from now on, any topic, any photo shoot I do, I was strictly shooting black people only. I was strictly doing black projects. I was gonna rub this blackness in your face, period. I was gonna rub it in their face, because I was like, okay, cool, this is how it is. Don't worry. Don't worry.
You gonna learn today.
I got something for your ass. Don't you worry. So I started to do. You have to do presentations, and I was loving it.
So Martin Luther King.
Literally, obviously, white people are moving nuts. So I started to do that, and it would make them uncomfortable, but it made me like. I didn't care anymore, and I was like, good, you should know, because maybe I hope one of them was like, oh, I feel bad for treating her like that. I didn't realise it was like this. So I started to do that more often. She would ask me, so is there a reason you only shoot like just black people? Just asking.
Whoa. Who asked that?
My teacher. Yeah. Because all of my shoots, because obviously it was constantly, I did fashion, makeup, stuff like that. So she was like, is there a reason you only do, maybe you should try to like switch up, you know, because you want your portfolio to look like you have diversity.
I get that.
And I said,
no. Yeah.
By the way, one of the teachers was black, but she was the same. And then so it was really frustrating to me. And I said to her, but that's what it's my project. Yeah. So you're basically trying to tell me that I could possibly be marked down for choosing to shoot
only black
people, even though my project. God. I remember, I think the project, I can't remember what it was called, but it was to do with Africa and African beauty. So why am I going to shoot a white person on an African beauty project?
This is what I'm talking about.
It's mad, isn't it?
This is what I'm talking about. This is why people get confused about the definition of racism. Like we already just established 2 seconds ago, it's not always getting called the N-word. It's the very, very subtle, that question my God, like that question there, you can't ask that question. But the thing is, a lot of white people won't understand why you can't ask that question. But you can't because why does it matter? Like, what is it literally? Why is that an issue? Basically, like, why is that an issue? Like, black people, you can use multiple black skins. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the same. That it's going to be very diverse with all different people. Like, I don't understand what I'm talking about. Like,
you don't understand. It was like, I was so shocked, because I was a bit there, because it was like a one-on-one thing on like how to improve your grades and stuff like that. So I was like, cool. And she was like, yeah, like you should try to shoot other colours, and I was like, no, because my project is on Africa, so I want it to be only black people. And I could see on her face, she had never experienced someone tell her this. So she was like,
I'm telling you. She wouldn't know how to react to that.
And I think she started to realise that I was black. Yeah. So she was like, I can totally see why you feel like that. It's just a suggestion. You can do it if you want to, because it started to. I think she started to realise it looked mad, because I was like, my project is on African beauty. I said to her, I only want black people in it.
Literally.
I only want black people in it.
How on earth?
How can you advise me to put white people in it. But irregardless, even if it wasn't about Africa, I can choose to do that. And that's all, period. I can choose who I want. It turned into this whole situation. I spoke to the other black lady thinking,
she's gonna ride.
She's gonna back me. She's gonna be like, yeah, go sis. She was like, oh, I can kind of see what she means.
Yeah.
And I was like,
coon.
all right, thanks for nothing.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I'm out. I still did it anyways. And then my dissertation was on the same thing, and she would mark it, and I loved that I was making her uncomfortable because you had to read 10,000 words on my blackness, and you had to give me a good mark because it was lit too. So she marked it. I passed, obviously, but it was like, so why was she trying to tell me not to do it? And why was she trying to? She wasn't trying to intimidate me, but she was trying to put me off. I don't know how to explain it. She wasn't saying I would fail, but she was like, I think it would improve.
It's that, oh my God.
So I was just, because
that language there that they don't understand.
It was like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. I've already told you with my chest that this is what I decided to do. And also in the art industry, we believe strongly that there's no right way of doing anything.
It's creative.
What's artistic to me might not be artistic to you, but it's artistic to me. So you can't tell me, even if I said I want all white people, that's my project. So you can't tell me nothing. But the fact that you're saying that, I think as a white person, it made it mad.
Let's be real. Yeah. If a white student used all white models, they're not going to say.
Not a single.
They're not going to say we need to. Maybe actually, I've noticed that you got quite a lot of white people in your. Maybe you should get a someone from India, someone from Pakistan, someone from Nigeria, someone from. They ain't gonna say that. They ain't gonna say black.
And that's exactly what happened because we had multiple shoots. Do you think they were using black girls? There was one time we had a project called Exotic, and.
I mean, let's be.
Their version of Exotic was still putting a white person with like bright colours. It was still that, whereas mine was exotic. So they were like, with the word exotic, you can do whatever you want with it. Go where you want with it. So I was like, okay, cool. Of course, exotic doesn't necessarily mean black. It's just basically something different. But at the same time, it was like, okay, you're giving us this freedom of creativity, but you're questioning my choice of models.
This right here is exactly what frustrates me, and this is where they don't understand the hypocrisy. I don't need to repeat. You hit the nail on the head. You've given us the freedom to do, and the quote unquote art is relative, art is creative, but you've given us the freedom to do whatever you want, and yet you still challenge my choice. They're not going to realize that is the unconscious bias in their mind that is challenging you. It's the fact that they've never been confronted with a pure black project like that before. They've never seen nothing that's got a whole project that's to do with people that are different from them before. Like, it's mad, and to an extent sometimes you're like, oh, do I blame them? It's the world that we live in, society. But no, I'm sick of this. I'm actually sick of not. I'm bored.
And it's a thing of like, when she was saying all of these things to me, I think even to this day she doesn't think it was wrong. She just thinks she was giving me good advice. And to be fair, my dissertation was on the lack of black people in the fashion industry. So
wait, it was on the lack of black people, and she wanted to diversify. But
so hold up, wait a minute.
Wait, it's about the lack of. Nah, so she's tripping.
That's the thing. That it doesn't make any sense. But I think
no sense.
Funny enough, by like my last quarter of uni, people really liked my work.
Good, I'm glad.
And the white people really liked my work.
Amazing.
And I think my teacher was then a bit more. She was like, "Oh, it's going well.
It is work.
Yeah, like it's going good. It is creative." So then she started to be a bit more. She was never mean to me. It was never that. It was just these little comments.
It's the microaggressions.
Exactly. She was never like horrible. No one in uni was ever horrible to me. But she started to help me out a bit more, like, oh, maybe you could do this, maybe it would be nice to do this. So I think she started to finally see my vision, but it took me having to prove to you that it's worth it. Like I know what I'm doing, whereas everyone else was like, because in fashion, well, in uni, you have to write this whole project book on why you did every specific thing. Why did you choose that hairstyle? Why did you choose her nails to be like that? Why did you choose that model? And I would obviously list exactly why I chose that model, but even then they still wouldn't get it. Like it was very strange. But after a while they seemed to open up to it. But I don't know if it ever changed in that uni. So all in all, I learned that was my first experience of racism. And I think after that, even from me doing that project, that made me go, so this is what other people are talking about. Like, it makes sense. And at that point, I hadn't really had a professional job yet, so I hadn't experienced anything. And I was just shocked. But I liked that I was now aware of it, and I can deal with it accordingly, because there was many times, like I said, that things were said to me that I had no idea. So I would let it slide and be like, okay, was that bit off? No? I don't know. Whereas now it was a thing of, like, I'm aware of it, so I could act on it and educate the person. So yeah, that was pretty much my experience. And then from then, it was the day-to-day black experience, which I don't need to get into. Is the day-to-day. That's it. That was my uni experience.
That was your favourite experience, being black, your blackness there. Alright, listen. Thank you so much to Caroline for being my first ever guest on My Black Experience. And this is going to be a series now. It's not going to be a weekly series or fortnightly series. It's going to be as soon as, if I can get someone onto the channel, then that'll be when the next video is. So listen, make sure that you hit up the channel, like all the videos, watch all the videos. I watch them all the way through, watch time and that, come on. Make sure that you hit the like button for this one. Let me know if you want me to carry on doing more of these. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna do them anyway, so hopefully you like them. And yeah, I think that's it, you know. Is there anything else to say?
That's it.
Yeah, we're all good.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So I will see you soon, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.
Bye guys.
Come on.